For this past week, I've been spamming the fuck out of faces, bro, because this was me trying, this was my first attempt at drawing myself, dude. And the more I look at it, the more I'm like, what the, I tried my best, but damn, bro, I kind of did myself dirty, bro. So, I started practicing with these faces initially, and I'm like, okay, we're roughing it out. I'm understanding the colors, but there's technique missing, dude. And I got so frustrated that I had a panic attack, low key. And this is why there's not more faces here, because I had to like I low key panic, and I made this because I needed to release all that anxiety, bro. Because this was giving me making me very anxious, not being able to like do this properly. So yeah, I kept doing it, and then I realized that to get better, I had to simplify the process, dude. And for me, simplifying it was taking away the color. Cause I noticed that I got the color correct. It's the way the brushstrokes are put on the paper and the understanding of shape that's fucking with me. So I simplified by just getting some black and white and just attempting to just understand the shapes and the values that go into making a face look like a face and just rendering in general. And I just kept practicing that from here. And what's beautiful about art is that you can see your progression. Like from here, this was the first one I worked on. You can kind of see that I'm understanding it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then you get here, and all my understanding flies out of the window because I'm still trying to draw. And you can't draw when you're trying to paint. Or in the sense of mark making is what I'm saying. Like that I'm when in drawing you're essentially like outlining, but in painting you have to like paint in shapes, which is very different from this, you know what I'm saying? Like in these sketches you can clearly tell that I'm just outlining the object, but when you're painting you have to carve things in, you know what I'm saying? So as I'm like slowly understanding that, I'm starting to like, carve in some of these shadow shapes, and the highlights that are also in the shape of the faces. So I started with this one, I roughed it. I was like, God damn, that was ass. Came down here, still pretty rough. Made this one. I was like, oh shit, we're cooking with gas. I'm starting to understand it. Then I got here and I kind of roughed it out a little bit, and I was like, fuck, dude. I kind of, I got cocky here, so I had to like reel it back. Made this one, wasn't half bad. I think the day after that, I started working on this one, and I was like, oh shit. I think I'm getting good. And I did this one, and I'm like, oh shit, this is definitely one of my favorite ones. I was like, okay, I understand it, dude. I did this one, and then I was like, I attempted to draw myself, and all of my understanding went out of the window because of the anxiety of having to draw myself. It's murderous, dude. It's murderous. It's like it's whenever I go to draw myself, it's like seeing all the anxiety of existing happening all at once at myself, and it's like being completely present with it. So of course I'm gonna make myself look goofy as fuck when processing all that shit at the same time. So I did this one, not half bad, but you can feel the anxiety of this right here, bro. It's almost the same energy as this one, dude. Where the feeling of anxiousness is creeping into the piece. We're not so. And then I was like, fuck it. It's time to go all balls. We're going balls deep on this one, dude. So I was like, all right, we're gonna pull out a full like the face. And I'm like, okay. When I was working on this was one of the rougher ones to come, as it was one of those pieces where I had to keep working it and keep working and keep pushing the values forwards and back, and like really see my face for my face, you know what I'm saying? And really trying to do that without the judgmental aspect of it, myself coming out. And the more I worked on it, I was like, this is low key one of my favorite ones after all that struggle. I did this one like afterwards. It's cool, but it's also missing. Like if I could like add one more value to this lighter part, I feel like it would give it less of a graphical look and more like an actual like life. I think that's all I did for that. Yeah, dude. But yeah, that was like a huge lesson in art for me, and I hope that gives you some value. Follow your bliss. What's really dope about paint is that you carve instead of outlining. I know I said that already, but it's like it's so cool to like it feels like you're really messing with the material in real time. Like it feels like you're chiseling away at something. Because I know, like, ink and pens and whatever are like material, but when you can actually smudge things and you're moving it around on paper, it feels different, man. It feels like you're actually creating in reality. Not saying that other art forms are not. Trust me, dude. All I do is pens and paper. That's why I'm practicing this now, dude, because I suck at it and I want to get good. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I love fucking pens and paper, but this feeling of like carving and like adding in this way just feels so dope. Like this was a really fun thing to do, especially when you get into the lighter values and you start to because what I would do, or my intention while I'm working on these pieces, is to start from a darker value just so you can like add a really good base framework for your illustration, and then adding lighter and lighter colors on top of that, and it just gives it a very like realistic look. And it just it outside of it looking realistic, it just helps you understand like the three dimensionality of the object. You know what I'm saying? See how it like becomes real. I'm not glazing myself, but you see what I'm saying? But like it's really cool to start from darkest to lightest, almost like you're pushing forward from the paper, honest. And a quick tip that I learned recently that can really help elevate these portraits is understanding that every stroke of your brush is information, dude. And with that like power of information in your hand, you need to direct the viewer's attention into certain places. So when it comes to the clothing, I am not adding too much information that will distract the person that's viewing the piece too much towards the clothings, and make it more focused on the face. So I'm like doing very quick brush strokes so I can outline it in a way that is important but directs the viewer's eyes and attention in a very specific place, which is super important, dude. Like when I learned that, it kind of made me have to view all my future art pieces and current art pieces in a way that is like, okay, how can I improve upon this, and where have I done this in the past that has been really good and I was just unaware of it, and like trying to get better at it, because that is such a valuable part of being an artist, is knowing what to make important in your life and within the art as well. You know what I'm saying? Because living is also an art form, and you can get good at it with enough practice, bro. So, go follow your bliss, go do your own fucking, internal work. If you're crashing out with anxiety, just go with your sketchbook and make something cool, dude. Anxiety is fucking power, bro. Follow your bliss.